We're live, pal. Welcome to
Go for the Pin. Go for the Pin Wrestling Review Show.
With your boys, Mikey Q and
King V, aka Ember Moon Knight, aka Michelle McCool Running, aka Summer Ray Charles,
Mikey Q and King V.
King V, what's going on, homie?
Give your energy and feed that vibe into the world.
Mike, you still owe me a chopped cheese.
I mean,
Hey, Mike.
Go for it,
welcome to Go for the Pin, episode 110, with your boy Mikey Q. King V's not here tonight, as you can see, but don't you worry. I have two special guests in the building today. All right. Now I first saw this tag team killing it at Battle Club Pro. I was an instant fan. You've seen them in matches against Main Event, Fight or Die, and many other opponents here on the Northeast. We have 2/3 of the Scotaricans in the building. We have Dirty Dave Rivera and the King of Scots, KJ Mack, in the building. Welcome to Go for the Pin, guys.
Oh, thanks for having us.
You're having us, boss. Of course. Thank you for being here. Wanted to make this happen for a long time. You know, KJ is international, so sometimes it's hard to work out the schedules, but we got it together. And for those of you that's celebrating Thanksgiving today, happy Thanksgiving. If you're not celebrating Thanksgiving, just happy Thursday. But anyway, guys, what's going on? Everything's good?
Yeah, man, just everything going good. Enjoying these holiday season and the festivities that are approaching.
Well, Dave, I have a bone to pick with you, sir, before we get started. So I heard you on Hot 97 a few weeks ago. Yeah. And you said that candy you said candy corn's actually good.
I will die on that throne because my partner here loves candy corn as well. So he's never had it. All right. No opinion. I was told he had it. I know Joe's a big fan of candy corn. Yeah, candy corn is just my thing.
Trash.
Like
they're trash.
What's your favorite candy? Hold on. What's your favorite Halloween candy? You better say black licorice or almond joy.
Nah, neither one. I mean, I'm more of a chocolate type of person. So any type of like little chocolate, give me a little Snickers. Give me a little, like, I'm pretty basic when it comes to that. But yeah, I'm anything chocolate. I'm pretty good on. But
the Reese's, Reese's are always Reese's. But yeah, I've always liked candy corn. It's one of those things where I can sit down and eat it all day.
I can't. I heard it. I was like, Dave, you're killing me. But it's
black licorice is the worst Halloween candy. And
I agree. I definitely agree. Black licorice is terrible. I don't know.
What kind of human being will give that to a child? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I would tell them, hey, no, give it back.
I would take that over back home. They give you peanuts like in the shell.
Wow.
Peanuts in the shell.
That's grandma candy right there.
Not even candy. It's a peanut.
Oh,
expect me to eat it like an elephant.
Jesus Christ.
So you guys go trick or treating and they give you like a peanut. Like
it's just one peanut.
So like you'll get like a bag of like goodies. You'll have like maybe like a fun size Snickers, a fun size Mars, and then like a handful of, we call them monkey nuts when it's peanuts in the shell. So you'll get a handful of monkey nuts with a Snickers and a Mars, and yeah.
So Halloween here or Halloween there? I'm putting you on the spot.
Here, because you can't see it from here. I'm a big horror night.
Okay, horror's nights. Okay, I see it. Yeah.
The Halloween Horror Nights down in Orlando.
You got the whole Danny Nemesis thing going on.
Oh yeah, weird.
Big shout out to Danny.
Shoulders. But no, I like the Horror Nights. I like haunt events and stuff, and we don't really have any back home, so I prefer it here.
Okay, all right. What about holidays in general? I mean, you're from Scotland, so it's probably a little bit different, but
see, Scotland's prettier. So it's nice when like the snow happens and you get to see all the Christmas lights and stuff back home. I imagine it's nice here. It looks better in movies. I'm not gonna lie. After being here last
never
winter,
here during the holidays.
after being here last winter when they were putting out the stuff at like the Rockefeller Center and stuff, I was just like, just Spider-Man made it look better.
Oh my god. Oh man. All right. Well, I'm sure we could talk about holidays and everything and all of that because we are in the holiday spirit. It's a holiday time, but I want to talk to you guys a little bit about wrestling. Let's get to it. So, Dave, you had actually mentioned that Jobber Slam was your first singles match in like 12 years. So first, I have a couple of questions, right? How long have you actually been working, if you don't mind me asking? And what got you into the business?
Okay, so I'll start off by saying I consider myself the dad of the Scotaricans.
Back in my day.
Back in my So I started around 2009. I started under Johnny Rods in the world of unpredictable wrestling. So I started there, and I was there for about 2 years. Wasn't in a tag team, was just doing single stuff for the most part, and I ended up having my first daughter.
Okay.
So I took priority of being a dad first and a provider for my family over anything, and then ended up having another kid. But now my kids are a lot older, so it's more of a, let's see if I can still go. And because I'm friends with Joe, I was friends with the first Battle Club owner, Carlos.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Me and him go back from middle school.
Wow.
We always spoke about wrestling and just, middle school and high school, we talk about wrestling here and there, but he made it a passion project into something that he always wanted to do. And when he started Battle Club, I was like, now I'm motivated to get there and try to do it. It just, took a lot longer than I expected. But last year, actually, I made a year to the date that I joined the Fallout. So I did a show, and Joe was like, just come in, check out the school. And then when I saw Santi, and I saw Pena, and I saw Masha, actually, that motivated me more to go there because I trained with Santi. Pena started actually a few months after me.
Okay.
I've known Pena for years and Santi for years. I never got a chance to cross paths with Masha. But, when you stop wrestling, you still keep up with what's going on, especially with your old gym. So, I would see Masha, her old gimmick and, militant stuff and all that other good stuff. So, so when I saw that they were there, I was like, well, I feel more comfortable and there's no turning back from there.
Okay. I'm assuming KJ has a different story here, especially, coming from Scotland. So how did you get into the business?
So basically it started off as an early New Year's resolution. December 2019, I was like, right, I'm going to New Year's resolution, going to try something new. I was living in London. I was living myself. And it was the first time I'd lived away from family. So I was just like, didn't have anything to do with myself apart from go to college.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, I'll try something. And then I wanted to start kickboxing. And my mom said no. She was like, you break your nose or something. Like, you up. I was like, right, okay, Mum, you're not going to let me fight for real? Let's go wrestle.
Wrestling's just as dangerous. But,
I know. But it was an easier sell. So I went and I started with a UBW just outside London, and I was with them for maybe only a couple of months, and then the pandemic hit. So when the pandemic hit, actually maybe about a couple of weeks before the world went into lockdown, the college was like, right, look, we're cancelling classes, it's not looking good. I was like, right, cool, packed up my flat into my car and drove home back to Scotland. I was like, I'm not getting stuck down here. So got back up to Scotland, and then a couple of months later, Iron Girder's gym opened up, which was Wolfgang's project, building a pro wrestling gym, and then started offering one-to-one private lessons once kind of lockdown rules allowed for it. And then I spent about 18 months with him at Girder's with BT Gunn and Stevie Boy, and then obviously Wolfgang. And then last August, I ended up moving here and hit up a load of the schools. not many of them got back, but within a day, Fallout got back in touch, and we tell the story all the time, but I ended up at Fallout because Harlow took the crazy bump through the barbed wire fix.
Mm-hmm.
I was there.
Yeah.
I was so...
So that clip goes viral. Harlow ends up on Cultaholic Podcast. I listen to Cultaholic Podcast at work.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, oh, this sounds like fun. Let's email them and see if they've got a school. Turns out they did. And then I joined. I flew in here on the Monday, and by the Tuesday, I was in here training.
Wow.
And that was over a year ago now. So, yeah.
And now you guys are both co-captains of the Fallout School.
Indeed.
Wow. Oh man, that's a great story. Like, it's always interesting to see how people break into the business, and what gets them into the business. So, like, let's go back for a little bit, right? So, were you guys both fans as kids of wrestling, or is this something you picked up later?
Yeah, I was, my vivid memory of wrestling when I first got into it was watching Razor Ramon versus 1-2-3 Kid.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Seeing him hit his head, and I knew something was wrong with him. I was like, this shit is fucking real. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Just every chance I got, I'd watch it. Whenever I went to Puerto Rico, I'd go to my uncle's house, and he would have the, Carlito Colon, the tapes and stuff. I'd watch all the stuff with him. I'd do the Butcher, all those guys. So Carlito when he was young.
Yeah.
So that. So yeah. Any chance I got, I was watching wrestling, going to Blockbuster, renting out their VHSs. That's a cassette. I don't know.
Oh man.
Used
okay, all right. I'm sorry. I
DVD and videotapes simultaneously.
Okay, all right, cool.
We were the crossover generation, okay?
Yeah, because KJ, you're a little bit younger.
Yeah. I'm
It's
a millennium baby. I'm 22, so I was born 2000.
Oh man. Made me feel old. Okay. All right. So KJ, what was your first, memory, I guess you could say, of wrestling?
I wasn't allowed to watch wrestling as a kid. My mom wouldn't let me. She thought it was too violent and stuff. So I was like, I was her first child, so I was very protected.
She was right.
So basically, there was kids at school watched it and had the action figures. So I wanted to get involved. It was more the action figures itself because I wasn't allowed to watch it. So one of my friends gifted me one of the figures. Here's your first one since you're not allowed to watch it and stuff. No idea who it was. I recently discovered that first figure was Test.
Oh, okay.
Of all
Andrew
people.
Martin. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a Test action figure. And then I was maybe like 7. And my family went to a holiday park for just a weekend away. And there was wrestling on. And my mum was like, right, cool. I'll go with you. We can watch it, see how it is. And if I think it's okay, then maybe you can watch it on TV. So we went. And funnily enough, the first wrestling match I ever remember had BT Gunn, Jack Jester, Kid Fight. And we debate to this day if it was Wolfgang or not in that match. We think it was. I think a very young Stevie Boy was kind of in the vicinity as well. So we talk about that all the time, that like my first wrestling match I actually remember watching contained my coaches that would then go on to teach me in Scotland. So after that, my mom was like, oh yeah, you can watch it, it's fine. Like I started watching, obviously because of the time difference, I would have to record it and then watch it the next day when I got back from school. But I would not miss an episode. Raw, SmackDown, WWE, ECW was a thing at that point as well.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It was a game show. Like, I did not miss a thing. Yeah. And then I hit high school and stopped watching it. And then, because, it wasn't the cool thing to be into. So I stopped watching it. I grew out of it. And then Kofi Mania brought me back.
This is it.
And I was there for that, actually, for his Mania match.
So Kofi Mania brought me back. So I always talk about how there's like 2 huge butterfly effects led to me being where I am in wrestling now. Mm-hmm. One was Harlow taking that bump through the crucifix. Mm-hmm. And the second was Mustafa Ali got injured, meaning Kofi Mania happened, which then reached me back home and got me back into it, which then led to me starting.
Nice. Yeah, that was epic. I mean, because it really came out of nowhere and it was so organic that it was just like, just because I was always a fan of Kofi, but it was just like to see that it came out of nowhere, kind of, and it's just like it just took off, and the fans just really started believing in Kofi, and they went all the way with him. I was shocked, it was really emotional for me, like being in the crowd for it. It was really emotional, and I've been watching wrestling probably, I want to say a good 25 years almost. So it's like, not a lot do I get emotionally invested in now. And it's not that there's not good stuff out there. It's just, it's harder because it's like we've seen almost everything at this point. But that was probably one of the last times that I really got like emotionally invested. So I want to ask you guys, how did the Scotaricans form? I know the name was kind of like a rib at first, right? So I'll let you guys tell that story though. But how did that form?
Who did it last time? Was it you?
I don't know. No, you did because it was the Scottish.
Yeah. You fire away.
The guy understood better than me. So it was, we were just messing around one day, and I just, we just goofing around, just joking around. And we were coming up with like different like scenarios and like storylines, because when you're a wrestler, you try to come up with your own ideas, and your mind just wanders, and you come up with thousands of ideas. So when we're goofing around in the corner while somebody's running a drill, and I just look out and say, maybe we'll be a tag team one day, and we'll just call ourselves the Scotaricans. Literally just goofing around.
Yeah.
Right? And we went to Joe later on that night, joking around with him, and then later on that night, he tweeted off the Battle Club, pro page.
Yeah.
Just put a Scottish and a Puerto Rican flag and just left it at that. And that happened around November, right before he left. And fast forward to, what was it, the 420 show, right?
Yeah.
Was that Women Crush Wednesday too?
Crush Wednesday. But they had the male pre-show.
Yes.
So I was originally not on the card. He was supposed to team with Gamble.
Okay.
And Gamble got hurt.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I didn't come to practice that day, and I got a phone call. It was like maybe 2 weeks before the actual show.
Yeah.
Phone call that said, Gamble's hurt, Scotaricans are up. And I just paused for a quick second because like my nerves just shot, because this is my first match. Actually, 11, 12 years. And that was it. That's how the Scotaricans were created.
Okay.
And, Jordy just happened to have this spunk of energy that we, it's infectious. When you're around her, she's just full of it. And I was just looking at her, you want to manage us? And she's like, you think they'll love me? And I said, I can ask. Yeah. So I went to Joe and said, hey, what about Jordy managing us? I was like, well, she's Puerto Rican, so it's okay. Yeah. He's like, okay. And that was it. And she just fits well with us, because she is the firecracker, and we're the ones that defend her. So,
no, Jordy's amazing. I mean, we've had her on a couple of times. I mean, Jordy's just awesome, and I can't wait to see what she does. With you guys, I can't wait to see what she does as an individual wrestler. I'm rooting for Jordy. She's great. And while we're on the topic of Jordy, I just want to thank you guys, okay? Because that sneaky little Abraham Khan. Listen, I don't know how he made it onto the show. All right, but I have to talk to a couple of people. I have to up my security, because he made it onto the show. He crashed the show, and he said some very nasty things about Jordy and about the Scotaricans. You guys,
you know that guy. He's a real menace.
He is.
He's a real menace to the Fallout, to Battle Club.
Yeah.
The problem is, I think his boss, Mr. Martinez.
Yeah.
They got some people in IT department. That's probably how they were able to do it.
That makes sense.
I know Mr. Martinez back in the day used to sell legal boxes here and there. So, I mean, that could be how he got in there. And, because, you learn with technology. So that's probably what it was. He's really good with, computers. So I think that's what happened. You change your password. That's probably how he got in. I think, just that all those federated guys are menaces. So.
They are. They are. And now that we're on the topic, I hope that one day, now that we have this whole thing with Federated and Jordy Lee and what's going on with that whole situation, can we get the Scotaricans versus Federated, please? And like a no disqualification match or something, false counting. Give me something. I'll talk to Joe personally. KJ, you like that?
Yeah, Booker man.
Yeah, I'll talk to Joe. KJ, you with that? If I can make that up?
We're ready anytime, anywhere, any stipulation.
Okay.
We want to stomp this out as soon as possible.
Yeah, because this Abe Con, this whole Federated thing needs to be put to an end. But anyway,
yeah. Going to ask me for pictures of Spider-Man in a minute.
Oh man. All right, guys. Yeah, because I'm giving Abraham Khan way too much time here on this show.
Yeah,
so
no, that's enough about him.
We're gonna keep going. So what are some of you guys' favorite things to watch outside of wrestling? Like when you're not watching, what's going on in the business. Give me some favorite TV shows and anything, whatever you guys come up with. KJ.
I just literally just had this conversation with a friend there. I'm really any geeky nerdy thing. Chances are I'm into it or have been at some point. I was just talking there about favorite animated TV shows, so stuff like Ninja Turtles, the 90s animated Spider-Man, Real Ghostbusters, Teen Titans. There was also Danny Phantom. All kind of things like that. Even like things like Kim Possible, Codename Kids Next Door, all this stuff. Bro, I loved it, especially animated stuff when I was a kid. But like now, I probably watch that stuff more than I did when I was a kid, actually. But a lot of my favourites, as grown-up shows, probably Stranger Things, Walking Dead, How I Met Your Mother, stuff like that. That's right my wheelhouse with that kind of stuff. And then obviously being a big sports fan as well takes up a lot of time.
What sports are you watching?
Well, I watch real football.
Real football.
The one where you kick a ball with your foot. So I'm a Tottenham fan, so when I'm back home, I try to watch Tottenham as much as I can. But I do like American football. Actually, funnily enough, I am a Giants fan and have been since I was a kid. So oddly enough, I live here now. And then I like basketball. I've been a Miami Heat fan since I was a kid. And then since I've moved here, I've adopted baseball, and I'm now a Met.
Dave, what you got to say?
We've got to bring balance.
Yeah.
This thing.
You guys are a tag team, but it seems like you guys are into very different things. So which is cool. It actually works. So Dave, what are you watching? And I see you got the Yankees hat on So KJ just said he's a Mets fan, but then you got the Yankees hat on. So
It's the only thing me and Mr. Martinez agree on.
So you can't say it. You say his name 3 times. So that's the second time you said his name. You say it 3 times. Either he or Abe Khan come out. So you can't say
no.
You gotta be careful. You don't want that to happen. Okay, so what am I watching currently? As far as new shows, just finished up with House of Dragons, which is phenomenal. I don't watch Stranger Things, and I'm like the only 1%er.
I don't either.
I gave up on Walking Dead after Glenn died. I don't want to watch it anymore. Spoiler alert, I guess. Shows I watch consistently. Top 1 is The Office.
Okay.
Office. I think if there's a record for the most hours watched on The Office, I think I have it. I'm not even lying to you. This is like legit. I watch The Office way too much. Parks and Recreation, How I Met Your Mother is a good one. New Girl, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I think you saw
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, yeah.
The Halloween show. We did a little Brooklyn Nine-Nine tribute.
Yes.
And do I watch any animated stuff? Well, I watch all the Marvel shows.
Okay.
All the Marvel shows already watched, and just this guy hasn't watched Black Panther yet. Shame.
No, I'm going next week.
So
I haven't
seen it either.
He knows what I'm talking about.
That's how how I'm spending Thanksgiving. I'm going to go see Black Panther.
All right, good.
Oh, okay. Well, Thanksgiving is today, but you know, no. But yeah.
After this.
Yeah, but okay, cool. I'm always interested in like, you know, what you guys are like, you know, watching outside of wrestling, because wrestling consumes a lot of us. So it's like sometimes you want to take a break, watch something different, you know. So, but on that same topic, right? Is it easy for you guys to still watch wrestling as a fan? And what I mean is like, do you still enjoy just not critiquing? Because I feel like sometimes like when I ask wrestlers, right, it's harder for them to watch wrestling and not like sit there and critique a move or critique a spot or whatever, you know. So can you guys, is it still easy for you guys to watch as fans?
You go first?
Sure.
You go first.
I have an easy differentiation. If I've paid to watch it, I'm a fan. But it's as simple as that. If I pay to watch some wrestling, whether that's AEW, WWE, or if I'm paying for a pay-per-view, whatever it is, if I'm paying for it, I'm watching it as a fan. I've got zero interest as a wrestler myself. I switch that mode off and just sit and enjoy it for what it is and let myself get sucked into it. And then if I'm there and I haven't paid because I'm a part of the show, then I have my critical thinking is switched on, and I'm looking out for, well, as Coach Santi says, other people's mistakes or your knowledge. So I always check it out.
It's okay. Everything's under control.
But yeah, it's if I'm working on the show, if I'm working, I've got my worker head on. Mm-hmm. But if I'm paying to be there, then I'm just watching as a fan. I'm sitting there to try and enjoy it.
Okay. Dave, what about you?
So for me, it's similar to him. If I'm like working the show and I see something that I feel like could have been done better, I'll give my criticism, but not. It's more constructive than anything. I'll just say, hey, you know, you could have did this a little bit or that a little bit better. And it's usually to the guys that are younger, as far as like training wise. Just because I feel like I have to say something. Because when I was doing it back in 2009, back in my day, I would get pulled to the side by, you know, the Santis, the Chris Estradas, you know, the Tim Arson, you know, rest in peace to him. You know, these guys would pull me to the side and go, why did you do it this way? You should have done it this way. And, you know, it was very constructive criticism, which I took and I applied to my next match. So when it comes to that sense, yeah. When I go to see like a professional event, AEW, I try to be a fan, but it's kind of hard when I see like certain things that I think are too much. So that's where like I try my hardest not to judge or critique, because I mean, who am I? They're getting paid a shit ton of money to do it, and I eventually want to be in that position. So who am I to judge? So that's when I try to turn it off as much as I can. But I'll be talking in my head about it, if anything. Or I'll talk shit to Kurt and like, yeah, it was, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, I get it. It's even with like Battle Club, right? Because you know, I sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing when I get there until I get there. So, you know, one show I may be doing the music for you guys, or another show I'm doing the timekeeping, or like the last show we did in Brooklyn, I was holding the camera for the promos in the back. Like, you know, so I don't know what I'm gonna be doing half the time. So it's like sometimes it's hard to like watch the show, because, you know, there's so much going on sometimes during the show. Like, you know, I'm sure, you know, you're thinking about your match before you go out there and everything like that. So it's like it's hard to watch everything. But like, for example, right, Pena and Gamble just worked the main event of the last Halloween show, right? And that one I said, no, I have to go out there and watch it from the audience. So like, you know, so even for me, like it's sometimes it's like it's difficult to watch it if I'm involved with it. But when I'm not involved, I'm like KJ, like I'll sit there and watch it and enjoy it as a fan. Like, but then I also do a wrestling review show each week And it's like, okay, well, the people that watch want to hear my opinion on certain things. It's like, okay, I try not to be too critical because it's a hard business. It really is. It's a hard business. And for somebody that me who is not out there taking bumps, like like the rest of the talent, I have a different perspective. I'm not gonna go out there and like bury what they did in the ring because I'm not in the ring doing it. I might bury a story. I might, or something looks really bad. I'm gonna say it looked really bad, but that's from a fan's perspective. So I definitely understand that. Okay, just a few more questions before I let you guys get up out of here. So my co-host isn't here, right? But he would probably ask you guys, when it's all said and done, what do you guys want your legacy to be on the business? I know that's a loaded question, but try to think about it.
What do we want our legacy to be?
Yeah.
Individually or as a tag team?
Both. I'm glad you asked that. Both.
So as far as our legacy here in Battle Club in the Fallout, I mean, the goal is to win the tag team titles, right? Like, that's our goal. That's why, joking around, we became a tag team, and we noticed that when they put us in practice matches, we meshed well, we understood each other. I kind of know what he's going to do before he does it. And, we know each other's movesets, so, like, the goal for us as a tag team is to win, those tag team titles, and hold it longer than main event has because they've held it for pretty long.
Over a year now.
So so the goal is to beat that record, and we'll be the first students, of Fallout to actually win Battle Club titles. So that's to me, that's a goal as a tag team, and then to possibly defend those tag team titles, other states, other countries. Working on my passport, so if Scotland wants the Scotaricans, just a message away. I might be sleeping. He'll answer. He has a good in his head. But yeah, so that's the goal, is to become Battle Club champions and then go forward. And then I don't like looking into the future.
Okay.
I like looking into the present. That's just me. I like to see what's ahead of me as far as like short term, because you never know what can happen. You never know what is planned for you. So you just got to roll the punches.
I always say the same thing. Joe's instilled a good philosophy in me since I got here, and I'll quote him directly, is the goal is to leave the business in a better place than where you found it. Regardless of what I do, what we achieve as a team, what I achieve individually, as long as you're leaving the business in a better place than where you found it, you've done your job. Obviously, I do this because I love it. I know a lot of people are doing it to get signed and get paid, and I just do it for the love of it. I do it because I enjoy it, and I like giving people the entertainment and the enjoyment of a thing that I found entertaining and being able to enjoy when I was a kid. Like, I want to give that back. And if it comes a day where one of the big boys comes knocking on our door with a contract in hand, if there's enough zeros, we'll talk.
Gotta be enough zeros.
That's it.
So it's important. Definitely important. Okay, last question for you guys, and I'll let you go. What is the favorite match what is you guys' favorite match? It could be as a tag team or individually that you guys have had so far. And what's your favorite match that you've ever seen that you weren't in?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'll let you go first.
KJ's like, damn it. All right.
So my favorite matches, for us as a team, the title match with main event, when I first got back into the country, just the end of the summer there, that was special because we had only had a couple of matches as a team before I left for the summer. I had to go home. So whilst I was at home, Jordy and Dave were holding down the fort. They were putting the hard work in, and then when I came back, that was the first thing we were told. Was like, yeah, you guys are getting main event at the next show for the tag titles. And I feel like although we didn't come away with the titles on that day, it was a great showcase of our ability, and especially our ability to step up and kind of meet the bar that's set for us by other teams. Because obviously, main event are, in my opinion, the best unsigned team in the world. Like, they are incredible, and they should be on TV every single week.
Absolutely.
And the fact that we were able to go in there and we were able to hang, we were able to keep up, like, that says a lot about us as a young tag team. Young in terms of how long we've been a tag team. But, like, I don't want to go too much. But but then as a singles competitor, I've got two main ones that whenever anyone asks, like, what's your kind of wrestling like, I send them these two matches because they're both easily available. I worked Steve Pena for 5 points at Wrestlers Lab back in, that would have been in May. And that was a really special. Once again, it just showed my ability to be able to step up to play when need be and meet the level that's set for me. And then when I was back home, my first singles match back home against Leighton Buzzard, who is a good friend and had been a favourite of mine for a long time. So when we get given the opportunity, right, you guys are going out there and you're going to tear the house down, we took that and ran with it. So it's also readily available on YouTube as well. So those are my two favourite singles. And then my favourite match that I wasn't involved in. There's a couple for different reasons. Sentimental reasons, because it was the first pay-per-view I actually watched, even though it was late. Like, I watched it on DVD. Was Edge and Cena and the TLC Unforgiven 2006.
Yes. That was in Canada, right?
Yeah. And Edge is my favourite of all time, like, has been since I was a kid. I don't know what that says about me, that my favourite was the biggest heel in the company for the longest as a kid.
Pal.
So,
Don't turn on me.
Oh, man. Uh-oh, Dave, watch out.
But no, there was that. And then I being older and more appreciative of the business and the art form that it is, there's two storyline-wise and ability-wise that kind of tie it for me. One is the forgotten match from the SummerSlam that had Bryan and Cena and the whole cashing in with Orton and Authority.
Yeah.
All that chaos, everyone forgets that Brock Lesnar and CM Punk had an absolute banger on the night. That's one, and the one that's tied with for me was Drew Galloway against Grado for the ICW Championship in 2016.
I saw that. Yeah.
That is one of my favourite storylines of all time. And that event on that night was just incredible. And that match and the fact that, like, Mick Foley was involved and stuff was just crazy. So those are the ones. Edge Cena in 2006, Punk Lesnar in 2013 at SummerSlam, and then Grado and Drew Galloway for the ICW title.
Great picks. Great banger matches. Banger after banger. Hey.
Okay, so as far as tag team wise that we've been in, I will agree with him on this one. The main event match to me was by far my favorite, solely because everything made sense, everything went well, and we came out understanding tag team wrestling so much more.
Yeah.
So
you guys opened the show, I believe that.
Let me tell you something. I love opening the show.
Yeah.
I rather open the show because you get all those jitters, all those nerves, all those feelings out of there. You enjoy the rest of the show. You can see everybody's work, but you're at ease.
Yeah.
And you set the tone. So either you have a really good match or a mediocre match. But if you can have a really good match, you have a good match. And I think we had a really good match.
Definitely did.
Point where, we've gotten praise from people that don't always often give us praise. So that was like, hats off to us, right? But main event as well. Because those guys are good, man. Hopefully, we can lock up with them again.
Is the praise important? Just because sometimes it's good. You know what I'm saying? So, but is that really important to you guys? I'm curious.
Honestly, yeah. Because we're our worst critics, right? We can watch our match and go, oh, that was fucking terrible. I took this wrong. I took that wrong. I should have put my hand here. I should have did this. I should have done a couple more sit-ups. Yeah. All that stuff runs through your head, right? But when you get praise from your peers, they say, oh, that's fucking great. You guys did good. I loved it. That is validation in and of itself. So that's what you want, validation from your peers, right? The fans are going to cheer for you, or they're going to boo for you. Right? But either way, you're getting a reaction, no matter what. Your peers is the one you want that validation from, in my opinion.
No, definitely.
Okay. So my favorite singles match. So I've had two that I can really think of off the top of the head where I came out like really happy. One was recently in JobSlam when I was in that Survival of the Fittest match.
Yes.
And it was me, A-Game, Encore, and Colossal Mike Law. Solely because everything went well. Yeah. There was no confusion, and everything felt great. Like I went in with nerves.
Yeah.
Once I was out there, the nerves are gone, and we're off. And to me, that was one of my favorite singles. And then another one I had, goes back in my day. 2000 and I think it was 2010. I had a match with Pedro Dones.
Okay.
Caller, that's what he calls himself now. But back in the days, he was Reggae Dones.
Reggae Dones. Okay.
Yeah, he was one of the, I guess you can say, Gleason's originals. And he just, he took a kid that didn't know much, and he made me look really good. And he wasn't afraid to let me do things as far as move-wise, because, when you first start off and you get in the ring with a veteran, they don't necessarily let you do much.
Right.
Keep it very simple, which is fine. But he actually helped me out tremendously, helped me understand. I was, I thought I was a shit because I won a trophy. And, can we curse on him? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. Trust me, you're good. Yeah.
To this point, damn it. PG.
Sorry, kids. I'm sorry to my kids if you're listening in the future.
Okay, if you're watching.
Yeah. So it was a great match. I actually lost, but I learned a lot from that match. And to this day, knock on wood, he's still one of my closest friends in the wrestling business. You don't get a lot of those.
Yeah.
So there's only like 4 people I'm still friends with. 4 or 5 people I'm still friends with from Gleason's, and other people, you say hi and pass them by, and hey, what's up, what's going on? But he's one of the guys that I can call right now. He'll pick up.
Yeah. And
he's my biggest critic. I send him my matches, and he sends me pages of notes.
Wow.
Telling me you should have did this, and that.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing, right? He's still in the business, so he helps me understand what I did wrong. So, my match with Pedro Dones is one of my favorites in the Battleweight Champion title match.
Okay.
And so as far as matches that I wasn't a part of, but I was at.
Yeah.
Okay. I was at WrestleMania 24, Ric Flair's last match.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I ended up meeting a guy. He had like an Eddie Guerrero wrist, like a Eddie Guerrero tribute.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Eddie Guerrero is one of my favorites. So
is he your favorite of all time?
He's in my top 5.
Top 5.
Right. And my favorite of all time is Chris Jericho.
Okay. Still going strong right now. So
Eddie Guerrero's in my top 5. And when I saw that band, my eyes lit up because I thought they were selling it at Access. This is like when early access. We're talking early access. Mm-hmm. So I started talking to him, and I was sitting up with Jesus because I couldn't afford much.
Yeah.
And the guy, was just standing there waiting to get in line. He had 2 tickets in his hand, and it was just, I just, started up a conversation with him about the Eddie Guerrero thing. And he said, "Hey man, I have an extra ticket. If you give me $200, it's yours." Where are you sitting at? He was at floor level.
Yeah.
I said, I looked at my buddies, and my buddies was like, "You better do it."
Mm-hmm.
So they each gave me like $50 to add on to what I had already.
Yeah.
And I ended up sitting like floor level.
Wow.
To watch Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair. There was not a dry eye in that arena.
No, yeah.
Very emotional. So that's one of my matches that I wasn't a part of, but I actually saw. I was there. So that's one. Another one that's my favorite is HBK versus Undertaker.
Which one?
The first
Okay.
one.
All right. Okay.
Just start to finish, to me, one of the best matches WWE has ever produced.
I agree.
Start to finish. Just emotions, everything. Start to finish. That's good. And then we'll go back to the 90s. Bret Hart versus Owen Hart.
Oh.
Like that. Just classic. Because
that was the Garden, right?
Yes. Storyline was top notch.
Mm-hmm.
They kept the kayfabe from everybody in the family, because Bret Hart will tell you that to this day.
Yeah.
And just a stellar match from start to finish.
Right. Definitely.
If I could throw one more in.
Yeah, got it.
Eddie versus Rey Mysterio, Halloween Havoc.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes. That's one of my favorite also.
That's the day of Dominic?
Nah. Eddie Dominic's real dad, so.
Well, oh man, nah, you guys have been great. I really appreciate this. I'm gonna let you guys get out of here. Where can they find both of you guys? You know, I'll go to KJ first, and we'll go to Dave. And how can like promoters book you guys? Give all your information.
So my Instagram is KJ Mack Wrestling. My Twitter is KJ Mack Wrestler, because for some reason KJ Mack Wrestling wasn't available, and you can't find the page that has it. So
Okay.
KJ Mack Wrestling Instagram, Wrestler for Twitter, and for bookers that want to book us, you can DM me on Instagram, or I have an email, which is kjmackwrestling@gmail.com.
Okay, simple, nice, Dave.
So for me, I'm a little more complicated.
Should have went to Dave first, but no, go ahead.
So for me, my Instagram is in David We Trust.
Okay.
My DMs are open. It's a public profile. I do silly videos, TikToks, all that shit. So that's just me. So if any bookers want to book me, I'm available there. I'm also available on Twitter at the Dave Rivera. I can't change it for some reason. Maybe because I'm not at an age to understand Twitter that much. So
it's because you're not paying Elon his $8.
I gotta pay Elon $8. He might ban me from that.
He might ban all of us, but yeah.
Maybe if I change it to Elon, then I'd be more.
You ain't never having a Twitter again.
Yeah, everybody's doing that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so you can my DMs are open there. You can hit me up there, or you can hit me up on Instagram. Yeah, that's pretty much where you can find me. Also, we have Scotaricans gear coming out soon, merch, stickers, and other fun stuff. I'll be posting it in about a few weeks.
Okay, nice. Yes, we need Scotaricans merch. merch. So
you'll be surprised what we have stewing up in the pot.
I can't wait to see it. You guys got any shows you guys want to promote that you got coming up? KJ, I know as of this recording, you had already worked this Saturday, but
yes.
I know you have another thing coming up in Bayshore, Long Island, I believe. But
yes, yeah. VPW with I'm part of Kane Industries. And look, listen, we're having negotiations as we speak. Okay. But we're part of Kane Industries. We're going. I'm in a tag team turmoil match for number one contender, and VPW. However, the question has been asked. The negotiations are happening of the Scotaricans as a unit being part of Kane Industries. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully that comes to fruition, because
yeah,
like
Dave needs that. He needs those zeros.
Hey, he can get those zeros.
Kids, bro.
He can get those zeros. Look, listen, I'm just looking to get as much gold as possible. And if that is a tag team gold, I want it to be with my tag team
Thinking
partner.
like a Puerto Rican.
Yeah,
So,
I like it.
like it makes sense, and if the guys at VPW are open to it, I would love for that to be the case, where we can be chasing down tag team gold in multiple promotions as the Scotaricans.
I can come out as KJ when you're away.
Fun magic.
I won't do the mohawk, but I can get it. I think I got your euros down pat too.
Oh yeah.
I love it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on Go for the Pin. Guys, got to come back up. Next time, we'll probably try to get Jordy also. Have all three of you guys up here, you know.
He's going to be upset that he wasn't invited, so just a heads up. He probably got heat with her.
Oh, gosh. I'll text her later. All right. Anyway. Yeah. What's new? All right, guys. I'm going to let you guys go. Jordy, I'm kidding. Love you, by the way. All right. See you guys later. The Scotaricans, everybody. And we are out.